Happy Sagittarius season, everyone. Welcome to the show. Thank you for showing up. We're going to wrap up 2025 with the December Astro-Numerology forecast. I can hardly believe that it's the end of the year. I know you're excited about what's going to happen in December. But first, let me say hello to you, Lloyd. How are you?
Fine, Kimberly, and how are you? And happy holidays and all those other good things, as they say.
We did have holidays, didn't we?
Yes, we did, not too long ago.
Yes, I've been doing good, and thank you. I hope you had a happy holiday as well. How
I
was your
sure did.
November?
I was going to ask you first. The last time I went all over you. So let me be the person that says, how was your November, Miss Kimberly?
Believe it or not, it was rather peaceful. This was a peaceful month. As the rest of the months for this year, it went by really, really fast though. Did a lot of reflection and had a lot of me time. But other than that, I can't complain about the month at all. What about you?
Mine was pretty good. Mine was pretty good for the most part. It was refreshing. It was a nice change. There were a couple of bumps in the roads, as it always goes sometimes, but other than that, I managed it great. I'm doing great. So everything was fine, you
That's
know.
wonderful.
And yes, and last month was an 11 universal month. So we talked about the 1111 and things like that. So it was very, very interesting.
Yes, and I know everybody had an interesting month with the 1111 portals. And I want to tell people, just in case you missed it, we covered the 2026 forecast. So if you have not seen that yet, make sure that you check that forecast out. And you can always go back to November to review the November forecast as well. All of these forecasts are here for you because we want to help guide you through your year. We don't want you just stumbling around in the dark for the next year. So that's why we do these forecasts. Check them out. And also, what you should know is after the forecast, you can get all of these details written out in newsletter form at lloyd-strayhorn.com. So make sure that you go get that because that will be a great reference for you just to go over your month and to see what you can expect coming up during that month. So, what do we have to look forward to in Sagittarius season this month of December, excuse me.
Well, you know what's interesting? This month of December is a 3 universal month. How did I do it? Simple. I took 2025 and added to it the 12th calendar month, and it added up to a 12. So the theme this month is careful optimism. To be optimistic, but just careful, because 12 in the tarot deck is called the Hangman. It's a picture symbol of a person hung upside down by their ankle, and it means mental suffering and anxiety of mind. And what it means in short is if you're not careful, one may wind up being the victim or the sacrifice for the plans and intrigues of others, you know? So it's going to be very interesting. So yes, it is normally about optimism, but making sure you just be more mindful, not to get caught up in people's dramas or rumors or scandals or things like that, but just mind your manners in terms of what you say, how you say it, and things of that nature. But over and above that, 3 rules Sagittarius, which is its natural home. 3 rules optimism. 3 rules abundance. 3 rules prosperity. 3 rules the 9th house, which is the house of travel and international travel and foreigners and foreign countries and foreign languages. So it should be a very interesting year. There's going to be a full moon on the 4th. Then there's going to be a new moon on the 19th of the month. So it's going to be very interesting. And you know what's interesting? We just finished just recently on the 29th of last month, where Mercury finally went direct. But to be very honest, there are 2 other planets that are still retrograde, which is the planet of Uranus. It went retrograde on September the 5th. and will end on February the 3rd of next year. And the irony is, since it's about last month, Uranus went retrograde on 11/11 in the 11th hour at 11:41 a.m. And it's going to stay that way until March the 10th of 26. So it's just very interesting. And by the way, let me remind our viewers that if you go to Kimbaley.com, Kimbaley, she did a very great piece on the 11/11 portal. Its breakdowns, its positive, its challenges, and also pulled some pages from her life's experience of what she went through. So kudos. Very well done. And I would suggest everybody go and see that so you can get that. So anyway, that's what I'm seeing right now.
Thank you so much for that. I do have a question though. I know we said that this is going to be, well, I'm going to throw this in there. It's going to be a good luck month because Jupiter rules the number 3. So we're going to say this is going to be a good luck month. However, you talked about the 12, and I would like for you to give an example of the 12, because a lot of people get hit with the 12 a lot and they don't really know what it is. So can you tell people an example of how it may be to be affected by the number 12?
Okay, so let me review and then I'll be specific. It means mental suffering and anxiety of mind. And when they say mental suffering and anxiety, this is what I mean. And it says if you're not careful, you wind up being the victim or the sacrifice. Let's say you got a friend that call you up. Hey, Miss Kimbaley, listen, can you drop me off at the airport? And you say, yeah, sure. And when you hang up, there's this afterthought like, couldn't they have taken an Uber to the airport? How come they man didn't take him to the airport? How come the so-and-so didn't take him to the airport? And because one says and commits themselves in this cycle, they will do it, but they're mentally kicking themselves because they said, I don't know why I said yes when I really didn't mean to say yes, So that's where the mental suffering and anxiety comes up. You're doing it, but you really didn't want to do it. You're doing it, but you're angry with yourself. Thus, mental suffering and anxiety of mind. So in other words, if somebody calls you up this month, hey, do me a favor. Instead of saying yes right away, says, listen, I'll think about it and get back to you. Because for some reason, when you say yes, it's hard to take it back. You feel guilty, the anxiety, the suffering. You know what I'm saying? So the rule is if somebody wants something, you just say, listen, I'll see what I can do. Don't just say, yeah, sure, sure, sure. And then after the fact, you says, they could have did it another way. What happened if they didn't catch me? So it's all those kind of things that they need to know. And so again, there's always our famous Almanac. So for those who want to buy a car, they'll find on the 12th and the 22nd of this month is ideal. For those who want to go into business, they'll find that the 3rd and the 21st, 22nd, 30th, and 31st of the month will be ideal. Just the last day of the year of 2025 for electronics. That would be on the 12th and the 23rd. To break a habit, though, there's no ideal date this month. Well, hey, can't have it all the time. But if you want to grow your hair, that will be from the 1st to the 4th, the 20th, the 21st, the 25th, 26th, and the 29th through the 31st. But now let's say you want to slow your hair down. That will be on the 7th, the 17th, as well as the 19th. And to ask for loan, that'll be anywhere from the 1st to the 3rd of the month, as well as the 29th to the 31st of the month. So that's our almanac. But again, as a reminder, for those of you, if you want to see the entire 12 months of 2026 that Ms. Kimbaley and I recorded, it's also in a newsletter. So for those of you who subscribe to the newsletter, just go to lloyd-strayhorn.com. The newsletter is absolutely free. There are no catches. No, we don't sell your mailing list or anything like that. And you will get this free. And by the way, if you want to print it out, get 30 pages because it's that long. It's a long one we did this time. But it is our third consecutive one. And the one that's so nice about ending this year of 2025 is this is our 24th consecutive broadcast of the monthly forecast. That's quite a feat.
I'd say so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd say so. And I want to thank you for breaking that down to number 12, because interestingly enough, in my reading today, the 12 kept coming up. So that probably too is letting us know that that 12 energy is going to be here for December. Also, we mentioned the 2026 forecast. Check out the business forecast for those of you who are entrepreneurs or are considering becoming an entrepreneur. Next year is going to be wonderful for that, because it's going to be a cycle of new beginnings. Thank you so much for our almanac, Lloyd, because it is so important to us to help us keep up with these things. And I always like when you say no ideal date. So that means we get to choose what date we want to
That's right.
choose.
It's within our power. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so um what else can we expect in December? What about for the United States forecast? A lot of things has been going on recently in the United States. It's been a big year for the United States. So is there anything that may be happening this particular month?
Well, yes, for the United States is in a 5 personal month. That means that for the United States, this is a month of change, a month of opportunities, a month of travel, a month of possibilities. And so because this time of the year is friendly to it, I would say back in October and November, those have been challenging. And I would say definitely last month was challenging in a sense, as there was a lot of craziness. I think down in DC, two soldiers were shot at. One died, unfortunately. So there was a lot of drama. There was also about they've now cut off the airspace to Venezuela, going to declare war. It's October and November are not too good for this nation. This one, by comparison, is pretty okay.
That's good. We may have a little room to breathe this
Yeah,
month.
yeah, yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and get started with the December forecast. Are you ready to give us that forecast?
Yep, yep. I'm
Hold
ready
on,
to.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. You took too long to say that. You took too long to say it. Are you having regrets?
I'm going to see 2025. I hate to see it go.
I'm glad to see it go.
Me
Let's
too.
get it out
Me
of
too.
here.
Me too. It represents endings. So it's a
Yes.
wrap. As they say, it's a wrap. But the beautiful part is we look forward to the new year right around the corner is for each and every one of us. It's an opportunity to make a fresh start. It's like a blackboard that's been all chalked up and then you naturally clean it. And now you can design it any way you want. You can write anything you want to. So write what you want for the next 9 years going forward, starting next month. Plan and be intentional. Just don't be helter-skelter, being impulsive. Be intentional about what you want. Even if you don't get it then, mentally you're planting the seeds, spiritually planting the seeds of what you wish to do over the next 9-year cycle, which is brand new. Now, for those that are Leos, those that are Aquarians, those that are Aries, or anybody whose birthday adds to the single digit of a 1 or 4, you will be the beneficiary. But the beautiful part about the 2026 forecast that Ms. Kimbaley and I did, we break down each and every month, the colors in the months, the stones and the carry in the months, the almanacs for each of the month. So you don't have to wait each month. You got everything from January to the end of 2026, okay? All at your fingertips. So since we're in the Sagittarius season, we're going to begin with you, your fire signs, okay? So if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Sagittarius, your theme this month is restoration. meaning to restore, to rebuild, get to put together any missing parts that needs to be put into proper place. It is about taking that kind of effort to kind of make sure that something becomes lasting. And as you close out the year, why not? It makes perfect sense. So for you, this year, I should say, or this month, I should say, excuse me, is about laying the foundation to things affecting the home, the family, the health, the finances, things of that nature. You're going to find, though, on the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th of the month, when the moon is in your opposition sign of Gemini, things may be a little resistance, but at that time, you're going to be doing a lot of reflecting in that very first week. So it means to not force anything, to think before you say what you're going to say, and make sure that things are clear, and you will be to your advantage. Now, in the second week, from the 8th to the 14th, things is much better because now you can begin to move because of the combination of the personal month you're in, which is a 6, and that week, which is 8, which it deals with finances. I would say financially, things should be a little bit more solid. Make sure debts are paid. Any outstanding loans or commitments you make will be to your advantage. And it's going to be a period where you're going to be doing the growing up, because in the third week, you'll find that especially around the 18th and the 19th, when the moon is actually in your sign, it's going to be a period where things are really going to come together the way you want it to. It's going to be like dreams come true, but at the same time, it'll give you the perfect opportunity to begin to weed anything out as we start going into the year of 2026, which means new beginnings, new directions, new opportunities. And it's in that last week, in the Christmas holidays, from the 22nd to the end, that's going to allow you a chance to get started with new things, to get started on anything that's kind of in your favor, to do things in the way that you want to close the year out on the right note. Now, speaking of that, who is going to help you? Well, those under the signs of Taurus, those under the signs of Libra, or if they are born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month, will be of great help to you. Now, the color to wear for all Sagittarians for the month of December of 2025 is rose, and the stone to wear or carry over above shungite. Shungite is a definite. Shungite is added to everything. Should be morganite. Okay? Now, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Capricorn, the theme for you this month is about bonding, to put together a kind of a bond, a glue, a composite of things that hold pieces in place. You know, it's interesting when you bond things, it allows you to kind of stay together. There are no loose ends, nothing shaky, but it makes for really creating a rock foundation that's very solid, that's very meaningful. So the way you bond is going to be a lot to do with the way you do things. And especially since it deals with the whole theme for Capricorns is about companionship, cooperation, teamwork, taking your time, being considerate, being understanding, being empathetic and sympathetic. Those would be the things. Although when you're coming out the gate from the 6th through the 7th of the month, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Cancer, it may not feel like bonding with nobody, but it's going to be very important. And by the way, it's in this week, this first week, to be careful of the things you say and not get caught up in the people's rumors and things like that, so people don't misunderstand you and things of that nature. As you go into the second week, though, the 8th to the 14th, it indicates now you can lay a solid foundation to add more of a bonding situation to the things you want by having a definite plan of action, definite intentions, and all the things you need to do to have everything in place in proper order. But as you go into that third week of the 15th through the 21st, I should say, around the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of the month, when the moon is sitting in your sign, Capricorn, then you'll feel more of this sense of a change, this sense of a fresh breath air, that you can do things that allows you the freedom and the flexibility to come and go as you want to. Also will be a lot of opportunities. But the most exciting part, as we move into your sign from after the 22nd into the rest of the year, then we move into your sign where you really end it on a note of friendliness, a note of harmony, a note of relationships, a note of finances, a note that's going to really be pleasing that you can look forward to as you begin to enter your period going into January of 2026. Now, who is going to help you will be those under the sign of Cancer or anybody born on the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month. Now, the color to wear is silver. Normally, Capricorns like dark colors, but this time try silver. You can wear, metallic silver or any shade of silver, but the darker the silver, the better the look, so like a charcoal gray. And the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is selenite, all right? Aquarius. If your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Aquarius, the theme this month is divine connections. What do I mean? You know how sometimes you have the intentions of trying to hook up with this person, but the higher source says, no, you need to really hook up with this person, okay? And so it's going to be that kind of energy that's going to take you, and it's not that you won't have control over your affairs, but you'll find that through divine works, by being in the right place at the right time, by being intuitively protected, that the connections you make will actually be blessings in disguise, okay? And so therefore, it is not about chasing anything, but let things unfold organically, naturally. And however the connections work out, it is probably meant to be to a certain degree, even in the moment that you may not understand, especially in the first week, because it indicates something connected with the past, something connected with getting past debts in order, things of that nature, doing a lot of growing up. And even in relationships, whether it's going to be a future reunion of some kind, or wedding, or funeral, or anything that may bring about that kind of energy. As you go into the second week and the 8th through the 14th, well, around the 8th and the 9th, the moon is going to be sitting in your opposition sign of Leo. So what it means is in that particular week, since is ruled by the period of Mars, to be less impulsive, to make sure that you think before you decide to carry something out in action, to take your time. But on the positive side, it means you bring out the best in people through inspiration, motivation, things of that nature that takes people to the next level. As you go into the third week, though, from the 15th to the 21st, now you're going to have a sense of better independence, a better sense of self-direction of doing the things you want to. So there might be a possible raise or promotion or recognition. You might have the sense of maybe wanting to step out on faith and do things on your terms rather than somebody doing it on other people's terms. But as you close out the year, especially around the 23rd to 24th, when the moon is actually in your sign, you're going to feel this sense of relief. You're going to feel this sense of that people are going to really get together with you of like-minded attitudes, like-minded directions, and things will begin to work out very nicely. Now, who is going to help you is going to be those under the signs of Pisces and Cancer, or they will be born on the 2nd or the 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th of any month. Now, the color to wear is midnight blue, and the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is amethyst. Now, let's say your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Pisces. Your theme for the month of December of 2025 is counseling. That if people are pulling at you for advice, or people are coming at you all of a sudden about what should I do about this and what should I do about that, that will be all in line with the theme that you happen to be going into. Now, it's not to say you know everything, because no one knows everything in the first place. But what happens is you're going to have people that feel that they can come to you and get the sound advice as best you can. So counsel wisely. Make sure you think before you just kind of just say something just to sound cute. And make sure that, more importantly, that counseling is sincere as humanly possible. Now, in the first week in and of itself, it indicates that you're going to be more reflective. You're going to be in deep thought. It's almost as if you're going to seem to know what to say, when to say, how to say it, if people should approach you in that manner. As you go into the second week, though, of the 8th through the 14th, especially around the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Virgo, it simply means that if you're going to counsel, especially about personal matters, relationship matters, financial matters, that you double check what you say. None of the planets will be retrograde other than Uranus and Jupiter that I spoke about earlier. But for the most part, you will have an opportunity to kind of like wisely guide people. It's in the third week of the week of the 15th through the 21st that you can put a kind of a handle on things, a closure on things, to bring anybody who is coming to you a sense of closure that things are going to be happening for the better. And it also is a time to bring out the best in people, to not just knock them, but to build them up and build up their confidence and things like that. So you're going to be in an awesome responsibility as you close out the year, but it's going to be amazing because it's in the last week going into the Christmas holiday, into the beginning of the year, toward the beginning of the new year, I should say, around the 25th, 26th, 27th, when the moon is sitting in your sign of Pisces. Man, you're going to be feeling your oats. It's going to be like, you're going to be like a sage, so to speak. But although you might question yourself, why are these people coming to me? But that is the ebb and flow of the theme of what you are in for the year. It is about definitely making sure that you reach and do your best to counsel people. Now, who's going to help you will be Taurus and Libra, or anybody born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month. And the color to wear, believe it or not, is rosewood, and the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is rose quartz. Now, all right. Now, what about Aries? If your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Aries, your theme for the month of December, closing out 2025, is expression. Express yourself. There used to be a famous song like that, express yourself. And when I say expression in a way that indicates that people can feel relaxed, that they understand what you're saying, how you're saying it, and the impression that you make. And the expression is almost like an impression. It's what kind of impression you make. So what kind of way did you express yourself? Now, Aries, as you know, you guys are assertive. You guys don't take no prisoners, okay? But this time, you express yourself with a sense of understanding, especially in that first week, because what you're going to do is you find that the moon is actually going to be in your sign on the very first day of the month of December anyway. So it's going to allow you to come out the gate in a way that you can express yourself to everybody's on the same page. Everybody seems to understand exactly where you're coming from, what you mean, what your intentions are. That makes life easy for everyone all around, including yourself, Aries. All right. As you go into the second week, though, around the 13th and the 14th, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Libra, you might not be feeling yourself in expressing things, but you'll have an expression of freedom of flexibility, a freedom of expression of openness, a freedom of wanting to express yourself in ways that allows you some breathing room, that people around you can understand in a way that lets you go or be who you are. As you go into the third week, though, of the 15th to the 21st, you'll find that now things are more on an even keel, that the expression that you come across is warm, encouraging, abundant, secure, and that people really understand what you're trying to say. Because sometimes we have challenges kind to really say what we mean and mean what we say. Well, the month you're in with the theme you have says that's what you need to do. Now, as you end up the year of December, after the 22nd, you'll find that on the 28th and the 29th, when the moon is sitting in your sign, you will be very reflective. You will be counting your blessings. You will begin to even question, how have you expressed it? Did the way you express yourself to others, was it positive? Was it uplifting? Was it to their benefit? But however it is, you're going to do very, very well. And you will end the year of 2025 in December on a very positive note, fortunately. Now, who is likely to help you? Well, that will be those under the signs of Sagittarius. That would be Pisces, or anybody born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month. And the color to wear is magenta. Now, that's a wonderful color. And the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is fluorite, okay? Now, Taurus, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Taurus, your theme this particular month, Taurus, bless your soul, is forgiveness. Now, let me tell you this. For those of you who understand your sign or know Tauruses, you know they can be quite stubborn, quite set in their ways. I mean, every sign got their challenge, but with Tauruses, they're no joke. But to learn the art of forgiveness. Now, it's one thing if somebody does something intentional. I can understand you coming out the way you do as a bull coming out of a gate. But if somebody does something unintentional by accident, not, bad or, overly intentional, then learn how to forgive. No one, Taurus, is perfect, which starts with you. Okay. So once you know that, because the whole theme this month for you is about closure anyway. So if you don't have much patience, much tolerance, I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me. Whatever the case is, understand that you're under a very kind of conditional situation where patience is going to go a long way. And no matter how much you want to rush or how much you want to force things are not going to happen any sooner. So once you learn the art of forgiveness and it's very important as you close out the last month of the year anyway, to let bygones be bygones, because on the second and the third, when the moon is sitting in your sign, it's going to be very, very beneficial to you. So once you know how to start that way, that will set the tone for the rest of the month of December, because in the second week, it indicates now you can begin to patch things up. You can begin to, wherever there's been discord and whatnot, learn the lesson of forgiveness of bringing parties together for a common cause and a common purpose. That will be the thing. Now, on the 15th to the 21st, going into that third week, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign of Scorpio on the 18th and the 19th, that may be a little easier said than done. But yet at the same time, patience is going to really, really challenge you. So don't be impulsive. Understand, since the moon is opposing you, to kind of just take it easy and take your time during that 48-hour period. However, as you close out the year going into the Christmas holidays and toward the end, things are going to be very, very expansive, especially when the moon is sitting in your sign the last 2 days of 2025. So on the 30th and the 31st, you should end this year on a wonderful, wonderful note, in a way that you feel more structured and organized as you go into the brand new year of 2026. Now, who is going to help you this particular month of December will be Aries and Scorpio, and a minor way Leo, or people born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month. The color to wear for you, Taurus, is maroon, all right? And the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is red agate, all righty? Now, for Geminis, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Gemini, the theme for you this month is manifestation. Manifestation with a purpose. Manifestation with intentions. Manifestations with the kind of direction that you want to bring something of an idea into some form of reality that it can be seen, that can be examined, that can be even touched, in fact, all depending on what manifestation that you're thinking about. But to focus on making those dreams come true in that sense. It's going to be a time where you're going to be coming of age. You're going to be more sincere. It's going to be more of a legacy month for you, really, where you can be kind of reconnect with your past, family. You might be visiting and come across a family member with some old albums that got your graduation picture, your picture when you was 2 years old or stuff like that. It's going to be that kind of energy. So be prepared. But it's going to be a wonderful form of manifestation to really bring people together in a way that is meaningful and purposeful. I should say, especially in the first week, when the 4th and the 5th, when the moon is sitting in your sign of Gemini. That's going to be good. And it's going to allow you to begin to close a chapter as we begin to wind down the month of December, getting ready to go into the new year of 2026. In the second week, you're going to want to stand alone. You're going to want to make your own decisions. Yes, you're manifesting, but now you're manifesting with a purpose for you, what's in your best interest, not what the folks want, not what family members want, not your friends and associates and coworkers want, but what you want for you. So that second week is going to be very, very important to manifest things that are in your best interest and interest alone. As you go into the third week, though, the 15th to the 21st, around the 18th and the 19th, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign, you may not be feeling that way. Although teamwork will be required, you might not feel like manifesting with nobody, to be honest. But at the same time, understand the ebb and flow of things, to begin to take your time, to let things unfold naturally, because when it's sitting in your opposition sign of Sagittarius, you'll find that things may not go that way. But the nice thing about it is this: as you begin to close out the year after the 22nd going into the end, you're going to find that you ended on a very positive note, a very expressive note, a very note that allows you to be creative, expansive, a note that indicates that there's a lot of improvement under the way. So you have a lot to look forward to as you close out this month and this year of December of 25 going into 26. Now, who is likely to be of help to you as you end this last month of 2025 is Capricorn, Aquarius, and Libra, or they will be born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. And the color to wear, believe it or not, is black. Or the stone you should wear or carry over and above shungite is hematite. All right, Cancer. If your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Cancer, your theme is about risk-taking. Normally, Cancers can be very conservative, you know. It is a nurturing, it's a mothering sign. It's the home of the mother, the home of family in a sense. But there are times when you got to take risks. Not, shall we say, reckless risks, but risks that has an advantage of coming in your way. Risk-taking in a sense that leads to a better thing. You know, every step we take is not always a solid step. And most likely Cancers, when they take a step, they like to know that the next step is solid. Well, that may not always be the case. And don't forget, for all Cancers this time of the year, especially as we move from Sagittarius into Capricorn, is considered your opposition period anyway. So it simply means, yes, sometimes we got to take a risk. We take a risk when we cross the street. We take a risk when we're on a train or a plane or in a car. We don't look at it like that, but it's not about being paranoid. It's just being more mindful of your actions and the result of your actions, because every action leads to some kind of consequence one way or the other. So if you do it that way, because for you, it's about, yes, a change, but about a change in the way you deal with family, especially on the 6th and the 7th, because the moon is going to be sitting in your sign anyway, Cancer. So it's going to allow you to kind of really get things in a way that is more meaningful, more warm, more friendly, and things that are to your benefit. Now, as you go into the second week, it's like now you get a chance to kind of reflect and lay back to make an assessment of, okay, what kind of change? In fact, it's going to be an excellent travel week. You might, and see that you don't have to physically travel, but mentally travel, or travel by way of a phone or video calls or things of that nature. So expect those kinds of things to happen too. And it'd be also an opportunity to get into a good book, believe it or not, or to even start meditation for those of you who feel the need of anxieties or anything of that nature. Now, it's in that third week of the 15th through the 21st, to be honest, when the moon is in your opposition sign on the 20th, 21st, 22nd, when we're actually moving into the sign of Capricorn, Capricorn being your opposition sign anyway, and it indicates something dealing with past, something dealing with legacy, something dealing with people that you haven't seen or heard from in a long time. So during that 72-hour period, just make sure you take your time, don't rush things, don't force things, and let things just flow organically on its own. But you'd be surprised what may be coming up from the past. If so, deal with it, accept it, so you can move on. Because as you close out the year of the last week, it indicates now there will be a sense of finality, a sense of finishing things up and coming together in a way that makes sense to you. Now, who will likely to help you during this month of December? Cancer will be Geminis and Virgos, or people born on the 5th, the 14th, or the 23rd of the month. Now, the color to wear is denim. Denim is a nice color, like dungaree denim and stuff like that. And The stone or crystal to wear or carry is Lorimar. That's Larimar, Lorimar, okay? So that would be good for you. Now, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Leo, your theme this month is endurance. And can nobody do it like a Leo? Let me tell you, there's a reason why the sun is on your sign. The sun shines its face everywhere it goes. I don't care what part it might be dark over here, but the sun is shining over there somewhere. But the point is, nothing is more endurable and enduring than the sign of Leo, and that's your theme. To bring forth that energy, to bring forth that strength, to bring forth that regalness that is normally assigned to all lions and lionesses in the Leo family, okay? And the first week, it indicates you're ready for a fundamental change. You're ready to make some opportunities and take a break from any restraints and restrictions and limitations that may have been imposed upon you. You're not going to have it. Yes, you're going to endure, but you ain't going to endure none of that nonsense. That's for sure. Because in the 8th through the 14th, during the 8th through the 14th, that second week, especially around the 8th and the 9th, when the sun is coming back into when the moon, I should say, is coming back into your sign, you are going to be feeling your oats, and it's going to affect the way you relate in relationships, affect the way you relate in your finances as well. So it's going to be a good time to go back to school. You might think about losing a weight or two. For you ladies, you might be doing something with your hair, doing a complete makeover. So don't be surprised. But as you go into the third week of the 15th to the 21st, you're going to have what is called quiet moments, moments of reflections. Remember where you kind of question the people around you and even question yourself why you're doing the things you're doing. It's also going to be a period where you become somewhat a seeker of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It's going to be a period where you're likely to have some strange dreams in the process as well. As you go into the last week, as we begin to move from Sagittarius into Capricorn on the 23rd and 24th, when the moon is sitting in your opposition sign, it simply means that something might be concerned about your past, something concerned about your finances, debts, property, or things of that nature. But it's all designed to make you grow as you begin to clean house of 2025, getting ready to go into 2026 that favors your sign anyway. So you got a lot to look forward to. The people who are going to be of assistance to you will be under the sign of Aquarius, your own sign of Leo, Gemini, or anybody born on the 1st or the 4th, the 10th or the 13th, the 19th, 22nd, 28th, and 31st of any month. The color to wear is olive, an olive color. It's kind of in the green family, okay? And the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is tiger's eye. Now, what about Virgo? If your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Virgo, your theme this month is confidence. You know, Virgos can be shy. Just ask Michael Jackson. He was always shy. That's why he said he was a lover, not a fighter. Now, you got some Virgos, true, that are forceful, but most Virgos, for example, are kind of like laid back, kind of, wait and see what's happening. But that's not going to be the rule as you close out this year. It's going to be about taking the lead, acting with confidence, acting with charisma, acting with that kind of being cool, calm, and collected about the way you want things done. And people are going to say, what in the world has gotten into you? But that is the theme that you need to exercise as you close out this last month of 2025. In the first week, it indicates that you're going to bring some closure to a matter. You're going to speak your truth. You're going to put things behind you. It's going to be in the second week of the 10th, 11th, and the 12th, when the moon is in your sign, that you're likely to stand tall, that you're not taking it, you're not having it, and people are going to want to know what in the world has got into you, but that confidence level is going to be spiked. It's going to be heightened. It's going to be driven to another level where you now are feeling your oats, shall we say, and you're not having it any other way than the way you want it. Every now and then you got to be selfish, okay? But that is the nature of it. As you go into the third week, though, that's when you're going to team up with people or find that people that you might think of you who have that confidence level, you're going to find that your confidence will begin to attract them to you, or they will be drawn to your confidence and like the way you're moving this particular December, not with a shyness or bashfulness, with an air of knowing what you want, going after you want, having that kind of charisma and camaraderie to really make things happen. As you go into the tail end, though, however, of the last week of December, you'll find it on the 25th, 26th, and 27th of the month that the moon is going to be sitting in your direct opposition sign of Pisces. And so what it simply means is don't overextend yourself. Don't get caught up in any rumors and gossips. Avoid all potential scandals, no matter how good an offer is, especially when something is too good to be true as you're closing out the year. That's the last thing you need is some last-minute drama of closing out 2025, especially when you're ready to go into a brand new year of 2026. Now, who is going to be of help to you will be Capricorns, Aquarius, and Librans, or anybody born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of the month. And the stone to wear or carry is dark. Well, first of all, the color is dark navy. But the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is obsidian. Libra, if your sun, moon, or ascendant is in the sign of Libra, your theme for this particular month is understanding. You know, there's a reason why they give the scale as your sign. It's about balance, about not sometimes this is where understanding comes in. You can understand this side of the equation. You can understand that side of the equation. Well, that's what's going to be required of you for the last year, or I should say the last month of the year of 2025, especially in the first couple of days, because from the very first day of the month, the moon is going to be in your opposition sign of Aries. So right away, that's a tip off of kind of how you start. All right. And so, yes, you want to be assertive, but not too assertive where you begin to trip up before you even get out the gate good. All right. So it's going to be very important because December is going to be for you overall a period of dreams come true, a period of letting things go and putting things behind you. But understanding is going to be the key, especially in the second week on the 13th and the 14th when the moon is sitting in your sign. And this understanding is what's going to mend fences, bring people together of a like-minded intention to do the things that are very, very important for them. As you go into the third week, that's going to be really a fun week, leading into a change of the seasons as we begin to move from Sagittarius into Capricorn. But it's going to allow you to express yourself, to add more understanding to what you're doing and how things can be much better for you. As you go into the final week, especially around the 28th to 29th, when the moon is sitting in your direct opposition sign, okay, of Aries, that is going to be a time for you where you need to just be careful and just count your blessings that the year has come to a close on a good note. But part of it is about your level of understanding and how you do things. It's going to be so, so important. Now, who is likely to be of help to you in your final stages of 2025 will be Aries and Scorpio and Leo, or they will be born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of the month. And the color to wear is burgundy. Okay, it's a beautiful kind of reddish kind of color, but it's a deep, deep red, so to speak. And the stone to wear or carry is bloodstone. And let us not leave out Scorpio, okay? If your moon or your sun or your ascendant is in the sign of Scorpio, your theme is about performance. I ain't talking about performance on a stage now, okay? You ain't acting, but your actions will speak louder than your words. You can show me better than tell me. So your performance is going to count all the way as you close out this year. And this is going to be very, very important. How will you perform in front of others? How will you perform in terms of a crisis or a circumstances? How will you perform? And it's not about acting. It's about being sincere in your acting, in your actions, and in your performance. Because this, people can always tell a fake. So don't fake your performance. If you're going to do it, be authentic, be sincere, and you will find that whatever you're saying and doing in this period will be enduring. Now, although on the 2nd and the 3rd, it may not seem that way because the moon is going to be in your opposition sign of Taurus. So you might say, well, coming out the gate here, things are a little rough around here. I don't feel like performing or doing nothing other than sticking to a routine. That's cool. But it's in the second week where you get an opportunity to breathe, to begin to say, okay, now I can be more myself. I can perform in ways that are more meaningful, that comes across to people as sincere and intentional, things things in that nature that will be very, very important. Because in the third week, when you begin to really get together for a common cause, a common purpose, and a common direction, the moon will be sitting in your sign on the 18th and the 19th. So that's going to be a good time for you, Scorpio, to really, really kind of show what you can do and maybe win awards in that way, not like on a stage, but in a sense that you win people's respect by looking that your actions are speaking louder than your words, okay? So these things are very important. And as we move from Sagittarius into Capricorn, going into the last week of the 22nd to the end of the month, you'll find that now you're in a position to kind of start fresh, start new, start all over again. So you are going to greet the end of December and greet the coming of January 2026 on a very positive note. And who knows, you might even be blessed with some kind of raise or promotion or recognition, or decide you need to now step out on faith now that this year of December has come to a close of 2025, and I'm looking at 2026 with a fresh pair of eyes, and let me see how I can perform going into the brand new year. Now, who is going to help you bless your soul will be Sagittarians and Pisces, or they will be born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, or the 30th of the month. And the color to wear for all Scorpios during December of 2025 is electric blue, and the stone to wear or carry over and above shungite is sunstone. So there you have it for all the 12 signs for December of 2025 as we bring this year of 2025 to a close.
Yay.
Yeah, I say the same thing too.
And you know what?
24
You
months,
went
24
fast
months.
too.
Yes, 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 yes,
You
yes.
sound like you had a lot of practice.
Yeah, well, it's good. And I do want to say to all of our viewers who have supported us over the last 2 years unfailingly, we are very honored. It's because of you viewers that we've grown. We've added the Almanac. We've added this, that, and the other. What about my sun? What about my moon or ascendant? All these features we added because of you. And we are internally thankful why we feel that our monthly reports are very original and they very much respond to your needs as our viewers. And we can't get any better than that. What do you say, Ms. Kimbaley?
I said thank you. Thank you so much for the wisdom and the knowledge that you share with us, how you keep us informed about what's coming up in the month ahead, and even some things that we don't even think about, like the best time to break a habit, the best time to grow our hair. It's a lot of things that you offer to us, and you've been doing it for a while. This has been a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. I want to say thank you to all of our viewers, whether you've been here since the beginning or whether you have just started in the last couple of months. Thank you so much because we would be just here talking to ourselves if we had nobody watching
True,
or
true.
nobody
With two
listening.
viewers, okay?
But thank you so much for that. Thank you for our forecast for December. And it's so good to be closing 2025 out. So, how do you feel?
I feel great. I look forward for the new year. It favors my sign. It favors your sign. It favors Aries. It favors everyone, but to a greater or lesser degree. But regardless of the sign, notice you are starting a year where everybody gets a fresh start in life. You turn the page, so to speak. You read a new chapter in your life and you create what you want. The only thing is to be intentional because whatever is started in a one cycle year will last directly or indirectly over this next 9-year period. So you're going to have to pick and choose your friends wisely, pick and choose your actions wisely of how you're thinking and how you're doing. But if so, the year should be great. It should be great for everybody. At least everybody gets a fresh start. Now, what they do and how they end the race is going to be a thing that you and I have no control over. But it's how we start coming out the gate that's going to make all the difference in the world.
That's right. And I would have to say that the one cycle is my favorite cycle. My next favorite
I
cycle
wonder
is
why.
because it's about new beginnings, starting fresh. And my second favorite cycle is the seventh cycle because I love that a long time, that
Mhm.
intermediate time. So those are my favorite two cycles. And speaking of the cycle and how each person will go through it, I heard quite a few people say that 2025 was a rough cycle for them. Well, there's a solution for that. If you feel like you had a rough cycle in 2025, then maybe you should consider having your yearly forecast done as an individual for your 2026. This way, you can understand exactly what cycles you'll be going through month by month throughout the year so that you can prepare and also pivot when you need to. And this is for you as an individual, and it's also for your business. So make sure that you consider that. And also, if you want to keep up with the day to day flow of life, your daily activities, you should have the Star 8 mobile numerology app because there's a calendar up there and it lets you know what days are best for you, what days you need to be cautious on. And it also breaks down you yourself numerically so you can get a better understanding of who you are. You can get that on a Star 8 ASTAR, the number 8.com. You can get your reports. I'll leave a link here so that you can tap into those reports. And I'm going to pass the baton over to you to see if there's anything that you want to close with today.
Yes, I want to say for those that felt that 2025 was rough. Yes, it is a 9. 9 is a rough and tumble number. It is not gentle. It is forceful. It's governed by the war planet of Mars. Okay, it rules agitation, wars, conflicts, drama, accidents. Notice before we ended the year, I think it was in late October, November, there was a plane crash for air delivery service that crashed. I mean, there's a lot of craziness that's happening. So it's not people's imagination. That's the nature of a 9. But the point about the year is it one starts a fresh start. You feel a kind of like, I can now breathe. I can now get things together. But for those of us who have a consultation with me, go to Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, click on consultation, and schedule a day and time at your convenience. I will call you promptly. I promise you. And also pick up my newsletter. It's absolutely free. Also, pick up our 2026 forecast that Kimbaley and I did that go to all 12 months from January 2026 all the way to December of 2026. We include the new moon, the full moon, the signs that are doing well, the colors and the stones during the months, and the almanac for each of the months, and a summary, and the cities that are likely to make the news. So we put a lot into it, all because of we want to make it a best kind of, shall we say, version of ourselves. And also, I would suggest that, Miss Kimbaley, God bless her soul, she ended this year by publishing a book called The Business of Numerology. It's an astronumerical guide to business. And so that's out. And I would suggest that all of y'all go to Amazon.com. And then also, when you go to Amazon.com, when you purchase the book, write a review, send a snapshot or a screenshot of that review into her for you business owners. This is for business owners only, not just individuals, but you must own a business. And she will give you a complimentary assessment of your business, astronumerically speaking. Okay. She also provides other services, charts, and whatnot. See, if I say all these things, I'm promoting. If she says those things, so I'm promoting for her. Get the book. It's also in an ebook. Okay. And if you get the ebook, you get a companion book that goes with it. So because many people have been laid off this year. Okay. Everybody knows about the shutdowns, the doges that started the first couple of months, and they was swinging heads, cutting heads off left and right. So a lot of people are going to be looking for work. And so for those of you who have been in a career for like 15, 20 years and nowhere to go, well, Miss Kimbaley has written a companion book to The Business of the business of numerology, that will list each of the signs and the birthdays and 100 different choices of roads or avenues you can go in. I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, yes, I know the girl. Yes, but it is amazing. Okay. So please do that.
And you know what I just heard? I heard that this is the future of astronumerology. So this inclusion of business astronumerology is not going anywhere, and
Mhm.
it's going to be necessary. And pay attention, because we think a lot of times that these big corporations are doing all of this hard work. And if you look behind the scenes, then you probably find that a lot of these corporations are tapping into some of these sciences in order to scale their business and grow their business. And you can do the same thing too. Thank you so much
You
for
would be
the.
surprised that most businesses have used metaphysical sciences on the down low. They're not going to make it known that we're using this, but behind the scenes, do you know on Wall Street they have an astrology newsletter to learn about the ebb and flows of the stock exchange and things of that
Mm.
nature? That the famous J.P. Morgan, when told, does astrology make millionaires? He says, no, it makes billionaires. And he had an astrologer on his staff, and he died in 2019, 15. And to this day, J.P. Morgan Bank still exists. So he knew something we did not. So don't discount what Kimbaley and I do. It's very important. And by the way, in March of 2026, I will be presenting a certification course. So for those of you who want to find another career or add this to addition to what you're doing to make a living, we ask you to join us. All this information is on my site, lloyd-strayhorn.com. And for those of you, I suggest you go to Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com to find out all the services that she has to offer you as well.
And I'm wishing everybody, including you, Lloyd, I wish you this time too. Happy holidays and
Happy holidays,
enjoy
Happy
the
New
rest
Year's.
of the year.
And when we get together next time, it's going to be a brand new year. It's going to be nice. It's going to be exciting.
It's
Can't
gonna
wait.
be Leo season. You better watch
You are
out.
so partial. I mean, you're so obvious. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't even listen to my ascendant.
What do you listen to, your sun or your moon?
My sun and my moon are the same.
So it's good. So if you don't listen to your ascendant, that means you must listen to either one. Well, as long as it makes sense, and as long as this year is about endurance as we close it out, what could be a better way? And of all the signs they talk about, everybody knows the status of Leos, okay? People are so jealous. So the first person to land on the moon was a Leo. The first person, Leos normally set the tone in all world events. The first to do this, the first to do that. The first and only African American president happened to have been a Leo too. So that's their history. That's how it is. So God bless you, Leo.
And he's a cool dude too, you know.
Of course you would feel that way. Okay. But we do want to
Okay.
thank you from the bottom of my heart. And all of y'all take care. We do wish from Kimbaley and I a wonderful, wonderful closure to 2025. And you have much to look forward to. And don't forget, pick up our 2026 forecast is out. You go to YouTube. In fact, you can go to Kimbaley, Kimbaley. You can see the full. So if you can't wait till January, you can see it right now. Just go there and you see January, February, March, all the way to December 2026. So for those of you who want to plan ahead, you got it. And it can be printed out because it now is coming into the form of a newsletter, which is a first. Okay. In addition. So we're very proud of what we've accomplished in the 24 consecutive months of doing this.
Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year.